Right, so in today's video I'm going to be going over the hyperlapse mode whilst it's attached to a car to find out which is the best rate there. Now if you follow my channel you'll see that I've done a hyperlapse whilst it's strapped to my chest while I'm walking, and I found out the best rate there is ×15. You don't get any bounce in the footage and it just looks smooth and fluid. And I've also tested the hyperlapse on a mountain bike whilst it's strapped to my chest, and I found the best rate there is ×2 and ×5. So then it got me thinking, which is the best rate whilst attached to a car? Obviously I'm going a lot faster than walking and on a bike. So with the Action 5 Pro we've got 6 rates there. It starts in auto, ×2, ×5, ×10, ×15 and finally ×30. So there's 6 rates to get through there. So I'm going to be strapping the Action 5 Pro to the roof of the car, and I'll be starting off in auto to see what that looks like first. So now I'm going to attach the Action 5 to the roof of the car. And the magnetic mount clips come in really handy. So now we've got the Action 5 Pro attached to the roof of the car. Let's go over that first rate, which is auto. Here we go. So now you've viewed the first rate, which is called auto. As you can see, it's a little bit fast, especially if you've got any twists and turns in the road that you're travelling on. Now if you're on a motorway, that's just going to look fantastic, to be fair, ×15, because you'll be in a straight line and it won't look too fast. But as you've seen up there, as I got through that urban area, as I'm going around them corners, that's when it looked a little bit too fast. But if I was on a straight, we'd get away with that in auto, as it looks exactly like the rate of ×15. So now I'm going to change the rate to ×2 on the Action 5 Pro to see what that looks like. Now do keep in mind this is ×2, what you've just seen is auto, and auto replicates the rate of ×15. So this is going to be a lot slower, so keep that in mind. Here we go, ×2. Right, now you've just viewed the rate of ×2, and as you can see that's a lot more pleasing to the eye. It actually looks like you're just filming, to be honest, as it looks really smooth and fluid, and if you've got any twists and turns in that road ahead of you, it's not going to make you dizzy because it's not going that fast. Now if you was on a motorway with that going for miles and miles, it's just going to look like a really slow hyperlapse compared to if you was to set it to 30 on a motorway there. But most of my route today, which I'm going to be driving on, is through country roads, so it's going to be great to test all those rates against those twists and turns there. So now that we've viewed the rate of ×2, let's switch over to ×5. Here we go. So now you've just viewed the rate of ×5, and as you can agree, it's faster than that ×2, obviously by double and then a little bit more, but it's slower than the auto. And it depends again which road you're taking. I've got some country roads which I'm travelling on today, so that did look a little bit too fast in some areas, but when there was any straights there, I could get away with it. So now we're going to ramp it up to ×10 and see what that looks like. Here we go. viewed the rate of ×10, and as I drove through that village back there, you can't really see anything, can you? It's just really fast, and as I go through the shadows and the trees and then back out in the light, it just gets overwhelming to the eye. It's just too fast, to be fair, ×10, unless again you're on them long straight roads. But driving through that town there and on these country roads, ×10's a little bit too fast. So now I'm going to ramp it up to ×15, and again this is something I wouldn't use on a car, especially on the roads I'm taking today, as there's twists and turns everywhere. Like I said, ×2 and ×5 is perfect for that, but I want to keep all this footage in for you today because I want to view all these 6 rates so you know which one's the best for a hyperlapse on a car. So now let's switch the Action 5 Pro to the rate of ×15. Here we go. So that were pretty rapid, wasn't it, at the rate of ×15. As I started that country track, there wasn't too many kinks and turns, so it didn't look too bad, but as soon as I got into this village, it started to get messy. So now we're going to change over to the 6th and final rate, which is ×30. And if you thought ×15 and auto were fast, this is basically going to double that. So this is going to be really fast. So I'm going to try and choose some straightish lines, because if I go through any towns, you're just not going to be able to see it screen. You'll probably be sick, to be fair. It makes you really queasy. As I say, if you're going through any towns which are really busy in some urban areas, just have it on ×2, and that looks really nice, as you've seen at the beginning of this video. So now I'm going to change it to the rate of ×30, and it's going to look like there's some rockets strapped to the car. So brace yourself. Here we go. You've just viewed the rate of ×30. It's far too fast, isn't it? I did try to keep some straight lines, as you've seen in that footage, but then when I pulled up at those lights and went through that village, that was far too fast. It just makes you dizzy. You're trying to take in it all, you just can't see anything. You mind take anything in there. So now I'm in this town, and as you've just seen, that ×30 is way too fast for any towns. So now I'm going to revert back to that second rate of ×2, and again drive around the same town. And this time you'll be able to take in all the finer detail to the left, right and in front. It won't be just a blur or like flash running through there. you've enjoyed this video today, and now that you've seen all those 6 rates with Action 5 Pro whilst it's attached to a car, which rate do you prefer best? Now it's all going to depend on the roads that you're driving on. If you're on a motorway and it's a long straight, you'll get away with any of those rates depending how fast or slow you want that footage. If you want it slow, it's ×2. If you want it super fast, go to ×30 rate. And if you're driving around an urban area, the rate of ×2 and ×5 is going to look quite good too. So I'm finding in today's testing with that hyperlapse strapped to the car, ×2 and ×5 are my favourite, as they look a lot more smoother in the roads that I've been driving on today. So as always, do stay tuned to the channel, as there's going to be plenty more videos on the horizon. But for now, thanks for watching, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and bye for now.